If you have been trying to improve or been wondering on how to produce a great architectural floor plan or improve your standards, this is the right video for you. If you're a beginner or someone who wants to improve his architectural graphic standards, so this is the video you must watch. You are welcome. To start this demonstration, I've opened up MS Beam 2023 ArchiCAD Professional template, which is the latest version of our MS Beam templates that is currently running. So if you want to improve the quality of your architectural graphic standards or speed up the workflow of delivering architectural project, this is the right template for you. So it's suitable for commercial and residential project. Going down to the description section, you would find a link there to download or to get this template. By the way, there's an offer that is currently running. If you buy this template, for the first 50 people, you'll be rewarded with a monthly subscription membership for the next 6 months for our Patreon account, where we share courses, templates, presets, project details, ebooks, and project files that we use for producing videos for our YouTube channel like this one. So go down and grab this opportunity, and I would find you there for the next coming 6 months. Let us create a floor plan to use or to work with in terms of our graphics. So I would select the view that I'm going to house or place this floor plan in, which is the ground floor, and then from here I'm going to activate the wall tool. I'm going to use the wall tool to draw our floor plan using the walls. So if you hover your mouse here on the wall tool, you find there's an arrow here for the favorites. We have it here also under the settings dialog. So if you click this arrow, you'd find this is the main structure for our favorites that comes with our template, as you can see. So there are some subfolders again within the folders to explore. So it will depend, whatever tools that will appear here, it will depend on the tools that you've selected. So for example, if you have to select slab here, you find majority of the favorites here, they are relevant to the tool that I've selected. In this case, we want to open up the project starter. This is a lifetime saver folder, because what we created here is we've saved the settings of all the tools that are necessary to complete or to start a project from scratch and complete it. This is a minimal folder that will restrict you to spend much of your time trying to experiment tools, settings, and all the likes. So it's very important, because if you want to be efficient, sometimes you need minimal grade tools, minimum of high standard tools to be efficient. So yeah, that's what we created, and we have also options to explore different types of tools. As you can see, there are other folders here, but for the sake of this demonstration, I'll open this folder and then open the wall folder. We have two different types of composites here. We have for internal and for the external, or for the main composite. So I'll double click on this one to activate it, and then so under geometry method, I would want to the rectangular geometry method, so that I can define my footprint of the floor plan. So I'll start by clicking on the screen to specify the first point like that, and then I would I'll move my cursor diagonally from the first point, and then as you can see the tracker there, it will give you the dimensions of what you are trying to achieve. So in this case, I'm going to type in the measurement that I want to have this floor plan restrained for. So the width, the horizontal dimensions will be 9.5, and then I'll click on the keyboard the down arrow to access the vertical parameter dimensions, or vertical dimensions parameter, and then this here I'll key in. It's going to be 10.5, which is 10,500 millimeters, and then you can hit enter if you are done. That's what you have. So make sure what you are producing or what you are drawing here is within the constraint of the source markers, because they are the ones who extract information from different viewpoints, elevations, and sections. So it's important to centralize your building or your information that you are placing here to these items. And then from here, what I'll do, I'll select this. Oh, so it's now grouped, so we need to activate the suspend group so that we can select the pieces separately. And then I'm going to increase the size of this to 12 meters, like so. And then we do the same to the size, and then I'll go down here. I'll increase this also to, let me increase by, okay, I think I would go down here on the tool palettes. Let's go to the documents. I'll pick a line tool just to draft what I'm trying to achieve here. So I need a length of, I'll draw a length line, then I'll key in the length for this line. I would want it to be 2.5 and then hit enter. From there, I'll select this line or this wall, pick on the point there and activate the stretch and then stretch it to there. That's what I wanted. I'll do the same to the side, pick the point and stretch it to, I'll use shift hold in your keyboard to restrict it to be ortho like this. Just to, if I don't select it, you see what it does, but if you shift and hold it, it will restrict it to be orthogonal, ortho mode, so that I can reference it with this point here. Perfect. Now I have this. What I need to do here is to add another feature here for this building. What I'll do, I'll pick parameters of this wall that I already placed. By picking parameters, as you can see, my cursor changes. It's just by hitting Alt. If you hit Alt in your keyboard, it will activate the pick parameter tool, or you can just go here and click and pick parameter there. Then you come, oh sorry, what am I doing? Pick parameter, and then you click on the item that you want to pick parameter from. And then we're going to also do the same. I'm going to draw a box here, a box of 2.5 by 2.5, and then I'm going to get rid of this line and select all this by clicking on the spot on the keyboard, sort of on the screen, and then hover your cursor to draw a selection rectangle on top of elements that you want to select. In this case is this ones, and then I would hit Ctrl D in your keyboard to activate the drag tool or move tool, and then I need to specify the move point, which is this point, and then now move it horizontally, I mean vertically, like so. And the ortho or the shift part, it also works on this type of operation. So if I just move it freely like this, it won't work well, or it won't serve my purpose. So what I need to do is to shift hold to restrict it to be vertical like that, so that I can reference it with this point. As you can see, I can just click there to reference. Perfect. And then you would have situations like this one where the walls are not cleaning correctly. That you need to fix that before you move forward, because if you leave it like this, you're going to have this kind of situations repeating and so many points and so many areas of your project, and then ultimately it becomes a huge mess. So it's a good practice to straight away and fix it. To fix this, I would click on this point and then drag it down below to find the midpoint of your wall you're trying to connect with. In this case, it will snap that midpoint and then click there. It will clean up perfectly, as you can see here. Perfect. And then we need to have another walls, more especially internally. So what I would do, I would also go back to the design tool palette and then activate the wall. This time around, I'm going to under the favorites, I'm going to pick the internal wall composite. So I'll click on it, and then I would draw a composite. This I need just a straight wall from this point to that point. So I'm not gonna able to use this rectangular geometry method. I would have to go forward for the single line geometry, which is that. And then I can, if this information pops out, it says, as a result of the last operation, elements have been created and or have changed their position on currently unseen stories. That means this wall that I'm trying to draw, it's been linked to the upper floors. So what I need to do is to make sure before I place the wall, or I can edit it after I've placed the wall, but that will mean that I need to change the view and locate this wall where it's been linked, and then relink them to the appropriate view. So in this case, I will just say cancel so that I can redo it again. While the tool is active, as you can see, you can only see the tool is active in your info box, which is this part. This is your information box that carries all the parameter settings for any tool you want. So if, for example, if you select wall, it will change and give you all the settings for the column. So in this case, we are dealing with the wall. So if we say under link stories here on the info part, linked story, so this wall that we're trying to place here, it's linked to the upper floor story, which is story that are up. So what I need to do is to change by clicking on this arrow and then set it to ground level. So that's where now I can place this from there to there. Perfect. And then it has to be in line with the outside edge of this wall. So I'll select it and then activate Control D again to move or drag this element. So I would select a point to drag or a point to move, which is this point, and then don't forget to Shift hold to restrict it, because we're going to reference it with this point, with this wall edge, just like that. Perfect. So now I'm pretty happy they are aligned. So I need to divide also this line or this wall into two to create two spaces for the bedrooms or anything that you want to create. So I'll pick parameter. Like I said, you Alt and hold in your keyboard to activate the Alt or the pick parameter tool, and then pick parameter of the internal wall. So by default, it will give you the center line, the center point of, or the midpoint of the wall, which is this line. It will draw a line like that represent a midpoint. So I'll click on this point and then move to the left like that and draw your wall like that. Perfect. So let us go for the openings, or if you want to define further the settings of the composite attributes for your walls, you have to be mindful that a wall is a composition of many attributes: your fields, line types, building materials, and pen weights, together with the graphic override combinations. These are the basic or foundation aspects for creating composites. For example, if we had to edit this, we have to select it and then let's right click just on the screen while this is being selected, and then you would see edit selected composite or profile. So it will give you the composite or the composition of that wall, which is this. We have a plaster on both sides, plaster of material of lime sand, and then we have 2 clay bent bricks, and this here, these are line weights of these elements. So as you can see, the outside line for the wall, which is this line, it's on line or color 11. Color 11 is around 0.05. It's the thinnest line or thinnest color in the pen sets of what we have here. So both sides we have the same pen weight, and then these ones are on color 1. Color 1 is one of the heavy, it's on 0.30, which is the heaviest on this list here, as you can see. So that means as you can see here, if I select this, it's been also selected or defined graphically. This is what you see. It's a preview on your floor plan. So I've selected this bent clay brick. This arrow indicates where this element is located into your graphic floor plan, as you can see. So if I select this insulation material, as you can see, so you can use this to define the color composition or the pen weights of your materials. So you can remove or add skins if you want. So in this case, I can change whatever we have here. Let's see what we can do. So for the internal part of the of the walls. So we can change, instead of using a brick, we would go for, let's go for a concrete, for example. So the materials are being saved into some subfolders, as you can see here. So under concrete is there, then I'll say concrete structural, and then hit OK. Maybe I can change the size of the thickness of this concrete material to maybe 150, so that you can see, and then hit OK. There we go. As you can see, now we have a layer of concrete around our composition. So that's basically how you can modify these compositions to your own. The good part of it, it will restrict, the graphics will still remain the same because the quality is being tested. So you don't have to change. Or if you really want to improve this, it's fine. But you can always improve later if you want. So let's go back and edit. Let's set this to whatever we had, which is the brickwork. And what is it? Bend clay. And then the size was 1:5. Then hit OK. Perfect. So that's basically about the composites. So now let's look at the doors, the openings. I'll start with the doors. So what I'll do, go to the design tool palette again. We are going to activate the door tool, and then we're going to click on the favorites. So we have different types of doors. Some are customly done, some are that was saved with presets of high quality graphics. So we go back to the main structure so that we can locate the project starter folder. We have doors and windows there. Like I said, it was just for things that works. For example, we have swing door and door 10. It will depend on what you want. So in this case, I'll go with this one. And then if you come onto the settings, but before we look at the settings, let's just place it that you can, so that you can appreciate the quality. So let's just do that. That's the quality we've set these doors. So it will be both like that. And then you would want to label your doors as you are placing your openings. So it's important to have that. So I would also have the favorites for that. We'd use a label tool to label in ArchiCAD. So it's under documents. So that's the label tool, activate it, and then also click on the arrow to what? To activate or to access the, what you call the favorites. So if you go back there under project starter, we had door tag, ID elements, ID label. These are different types of labeling tags we have. But for door tag, I'll go for this one, double click on it, and then just hover around and click on your door like that. See, the quality of this is amazing. So and then I'll move, because this is an annotation material, so its graphic will be defined by the graphic override style. So it's going to be defined universally. For example, what I'm trying to say is, if I change this to maybe this sign, it will change. As you can see, I can change this also to this, it will also change. But let's just go back to the red. Yeah, as you can see, we have another door here by the entrance. So I'll go to the design and activate the door. This time around, I'm going to go with the sliding full. Let's just click and then place it there. Let's change the dimensions to let's say 4 meters. Right, 4 meters. Let's Control D to drag it to the corner here. Yes, or it can be centered. It can be centered. Let's move it. Control D and click on the screen to drag or to move by 100. Something like this. I think it's great like that. So if you want to repeat the same label to this window, you would pick parameter here, or just, like I said, Alt in your keyboard to activate. and then we can click there for the door. Sorry, let's select that and then move it to the center there. Okay, perfect. We have another door here. I'll pick parameters of this door and then place another door there, which is great. Right, would have another toilet here, but for the sake of this demonstration, let's just leave it there. Let's just leave it there. And then let's go for windows. So I'll activate the window tool, which is here. Also, we have the same attributes. We have different types of windows, tons of them. You can, they are saved in different folders, as you can see. So you are spoiled. The choice is yours. I'll go back to the project starter, and then I would go with maybe this one, and then let's say place it there, then to open outside. In this case, I'm not gonna have the label active. I would select it and then go on your info box, just scroll your wheel, your mouse wheel, so that you can access other parameters that are this side on the right. So we have a marker type. We're going to say no marker, because we're going to use the same marker by picking the parameters of this label. And if you go back to the settings, we'd have a window marker there, which is this one. Double click on it, and then I'm going to place it there. Perfect. That's great. You can have another window there. Let's pick parameters. Maybe go back and let's try a different type of a window, maybe something like that, and then let's place it here, and then this will be around 2.5. that's the width of the window. And then I'm gonna move it by Control D, and then click on your screen to specify the move point, which is this point, and then I'm going to move it to the right by, I would enter a distance or a parameter dimension to move, which is maybe 300, and then okay, just a little bit. Oh, sorry, don't forget to switch off the marker. Like I said, select it and then scroll your wheel like that to access other parameters that are not on the default window. And then under marker type, you activate no marker. Let's pick parameters of this label for the window. Sorry, and then place it there. So you see, you can see this ID for this window. It's not fitting well on this. It has too many characters. We can define this. So for example, we have only two windows, which is window 1 and window 2. So this will be window 1. So let me just zoom in so that you can see. So if I scroll in your info box, like I said, you scroll your wheel, you'd access the ID and properties. So this is where you can set the ID. So I would say W01, then enter. You see it's perfectly neatly done. Do the same to this one. Let's set it to Windows 02. Nicely done. Perfect. Okay, and then the next element that we need to place that will define further our graphics is the floor slab. You cannot have your walls. You don't have your walls for your buildings and then you don't have your floor slab. It's important. So what I want to do, by the way, we're just focusing on the floor plane. Remember, we're not gonna check the result on 3D or whatsoever. It's just to appreciate how you can work well with your graphics on your floor plan views. So in this case, I'm going to activate the slab tool, and like I said, there is always for every tool the favorite part, and there are already settings about element or the tool that you are trying to use. For example, this is under project starter, by the way. And also there are different types of outside the project that there are different types of slabs you can use. You have floor slab here, we also have that. So in this case we just restricted ourselves under for efficiency. So we have two different types of slabs here. We have a floor slab that has a tile finish, and then that has a wood finish. So that has a wood finish is going to be under this area. It will depend on how your construction method is, because this line here, the outside line, is a plaster. Normally you plaster it after you've placed your floor slab, and then a floor slab has to be starting from the main or the structural wall, like I'm drawing here. So it's going to start on this line, which is the brickwork, and then I'm going to place it all the way to here. That's how it's been saved. And then we go back with we get the one with the tile finish. We do the same. Like I said, you start from the structural brick or structural wall and do the same to the other side, and I place it there. Perfect. We have another one for the entry lobby here. Do the same. This will be the toilet or the bathroom. Do the same. And then we have this side as well. We can do the same as well. Oh, by the way, we can get rid of this window and place a door here, or we just copy the parameters of this door and then place a door there. Let's label it, pick parameters of this label, and then click on the door. Make sure you select the label and pick one of the points there and activate drag on your pet palette, then click it there. Perfect. So what we need to do is to place furniture objects quickly. So I'm going to go to the object settings and do the same. Open the favorites. So I'm going to, with this template, it has different types of favorites for different types, for different style of finish. So I'll go back to the project starter, because project starter has all that I want. Oh, sorry. What? And then go to space objects. I'm gonna start with the bedroom. We have a bed there. Just place a bed here. Control D and move it to the space like that. I can Control Shift D to copy or to move a copy like that. Okay. Then we have other objects for plumbing fixtures for this. Let's just place it for the sake of this demonstration. Go back to the object tool and then under the label, under the arrow for the favorites. So let's go back. This time around we're working with the bathroom. We have basin, different types of what you can do. Let's start with the shower. Oh, the shower has been you see, it's been linked with the upper floor, so I would cancel and then change it to ground, place it there. It's important to understand this type of items. And then go back again. Let's bring to repeat the previous command or the previous operation, you just hit W in your keyboard. Yeah, W, and then it will repeat the last operation. So we can go back to the arrow here and then pick another element, which is the WC, and then let's mirror it horizontal by clicking on the point. The pet palette will pop out. Let's activate mirror 2 and then mirror it like horizontally. Then I would move it by using this point and then activate the drag, then drag it to there. We need to place a basin here. hit W like I said to repeat the last operation, and then pick the basin, click on here to place, click on the select the basin to pick this point, so the pet palette will pop out to activate the mirror to mirror it vertical like that. Let's move it back to where it's supposed to be, like so. Perfect. So within 30 minutes we've achieved whatever we wanted to, great graphics of our floor plan without a hassle. If I were to now play around with the graphics, so let's see. If I'm going to change this to this, we can have a variation of you can have your furniture black, I can have my furniture gray, a variation of graphics, as you can see. So you can have it your wall, opaque style or empty style. It's very great. It's enormous. Okay, then we have also this style. Let's say black and white fill cut, no cover, with furniture gray. Great. Yeah, that's basically what I wanted to share with you on this tutorial. So to achieve this great graphics, obviously you have to set your graphic override combinations. So as you can see, we've set more than 20 combinations for you to display or present your floor plans differently. So it will depend on your mood what you want to get. So like I said, this is an enormous feature for this template. Another feature that we have here that is also very important is the labeling of your spaces, the room tag. We are using, these are some of the examples. By default, template will come with this on your floor plan. So it's upon you. You can delete, you can select all of this and delete. They are also saved as favorites, remember. So if you activate this zone tool in your tool palette and then click on your favorites, you would see that different types of room tags. For you to preview them, you have to select or press shift and hover above this. It will give you the graphics on how these are being set. As you can see, I'll go with this one, and then what I'll do under construction method, I'll pick the inner edge because most of my spaces are enclosed. This works whereby you have all the spaces enclosed, or your space is enclosed like this one. But when you have area like this but you want to label it, you have to go with these two. So for example, for this one, I'll click just inside of the space and then place like that. So by default, ArchiCAD 26, it will come up with two labels. So in this case, we would have to delete this one, and then I can select this. Let's say that, I don't know why we have a frame, but what we can do, we can double click there and see. Yes, you see, if you apply the favorite to change to that. So let me pick parameters of that room and do the same to the space. By default, it will also label a secondary label that I don't know why. You can get rid of it. Hit W in your keyboard to repeat the last operation and do the same to this one. Get rid of the label that is unnecessary. And then also repeat here. We have the same, and then I will delete that. So we have also the spaces where I say you cannot use the inner edge. So let's say W to repeat the last operation. Oh, by the way, I've seen where you can switch off the label automatically for the secondary label. You see here. So we would say, let's unselect this. Perfect. So that for this, because it's not enclosed, we're going to use the rectangular method. So, and then I can just select this corner, move your cursor diagonally from the first point, and then click there, place. Do the same to this one, and then place. If you want to change the style of labeling or style of room tag of your room tags, once you have to select or maybe activate the tool here and then hit Control A to select all the zones, and then you can come here and then preview what you want to have there. Maybe you want to have just a number, a room number, and a room name. You can click on that and then you say update now. This will pop out to give you the results of the last updates, and then you can say update to selected that, and then perfect. So you have all your text changed. Okay, thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope you've learned a bit of some information on how you can go about in terms of graphics. So it's about saving time sometimes when you're delivering project. As you can see, this we just took less than 35 minutes. We took less than 35 minutes because I was demonstrating. Imagine if I was just working focused just for the optimum performance, I would be done in less than 20 minutes. So yeah, go down in the comment section and let me know what you think about this. What type of videos do you want me to create moving forward? So if you have anything that challenges you or that you need to iron out, let me know, or you can just comment below, and other people also can help you in terms of your problems or issues that you're experiencing with graphics in ArchiCAD. So don't forget to grab the opportunity or the offer that I've offered you for the 6 months monthly membership Patreon subscription. So it's important because you would get that 6 months worth $150. You can imagine we've saved a lot. For the next coming 6 months, you'll be receiving some newsletters that there are elements or resources that have been updated. We update information in our membership on daily basis, so it'll be courses, templates, presets, ebooks, project details, and project files like this one we just produced on this video for you to reference or for you to follow along at your own speed. They are important for your library as well. You need to have a library folder for your projects. Thank you once again. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.